All right, guys, so I'm back again. Right, like I said, I probably will keep that little clip that you guys just saw right there, just because everything did turn out fine. I was kind of worried that the car might be a little too loud while it was going, but seems to be not too bad, you know what I mean? So hopefully you guys don't mind that right there. And then also, yeah, this is actually the first time that you guys are seeing me without like my sunglasses on, which is pretty cool, I guess. Kind of finally see what my full face looks like. So looks a little beat, not gonna lie to you guys, but hey, it's just kind of how it is. We all can't be supermodels, fortunately. But yeah, I kind of want to just come out and talk to you guys more about just how I'm feeling really pretty lonely right now. Just kind of like, I think I said it in yesterday's video, like I was with her for like so much time for like such a condensed amount, right? Because even like, I don't know if you guys remember me saying, like, we were only talking for about like a month and a half, 2 months. So really quite short, but we were with each other like damn near every day, all day long for the most part, So I think that's kind of why I got so attached right there. Just definitely not something, in hindsight, right, shouldn't have done, just because we all saw how that turned out, unfortunately. But, I'll kind of, for now, I'll kind of drop it. I hate, like, that you guys have to keep hearing me talk about it, because it might get annoying at some point. But, yeah, some other random stuff I just kind of want to talk to you guys about, something I always like to kind of bring up to people whenever I'm just talking to them initially, right? Like, oh, what do you guys think about like Bigfoot and like aliens and just cryptids in general? Because that's something that's always really captured my attention and caught my eye. Just the idea of cryptids in general, right? The idea that these big monsters, kind of animals, are just out there in the world, and like we don't have any like solid proof. But I always kind of like to ask people what they think about it, just kind of get their views on it. Obviously, a lot of people differ, right? Hopefully, if anyone sees this, if anyone has any thoughts or ideas about it, go ahead and drop it in the comments, or like I said, hit me up on Instagram. Let me know what you guys think. It's always interesting to hear people's different like perspectives on it. Because when it comes to myself, cryptids, they're a fun thing to imagine they're real, right? Like, obviously, one of the big ones, right? Bigfoot. Is Bigfoot real? In my personal opinion, it's kind of weird, right? I think to myself, I'm like, there's too many cases of people having, like, encountered something or seen something out there in the woods that they just can't explain. And it's one of those things where there's so many instances of it. I'm like, there has to be something out there, right? It can't just be like so many people kind of experiencing, I don't even know what you would call it, or I can't think of the right word for it, but like so many people experiencing something to where it kind of causes like a hysteria, right? In a sense, I guess, if that's the right word I ought to use. But I'm like, there has to be something out there. Whether it's like really a Bigfoot, I don't know. It could be maybe like some kind of bear or something. I don't know, really. But to me, when it comes to Bigfoot, honestly, I guess, like I say, I'm not gonna beat around the bush around here with you guys, right? If I had to say, does he exist or no, I might sound like I'm crazy, but I'm just gonna have to go with yes. Like I was saying, there's just too many instances of people like going out in the woods and like experiencing different things like that. And that's also something like I've also always wanted to kind of do like a YouTube channel on, you know what I mean? Just like buy a van, get a video camera, and just go out into the woods, see if I can find anything, see if anything happens to be going on, you know what I mean? Not even necessarily to find Bigfoot, but just to see what the hell is going on out there in our forests, our woods, stuff like that. So I don't know, for me, I'd have to say, I think, yes, Bigfoot does exist. I know other people fall into, there's like different categories, right? people might be like, oh yeah, Bigfoot exists. Some people think he exists, but he's like an alien. Some people think he exists, but he's an interdimensional being. That's why we can never find anything of him. Some people think they exist, but they are more like, I don't even know, like more humanoid than we'd like to think. Like they're more just like wild people, essentially. So I know there's a lot of different schools of thought, especially when it comes to if someone says, yeah, Bigfoot exists, it's like, then you got to figure out like, okay, well, what kind of area do they fall into, right? For me, I mean, I think Bigfoot exists. I don't think he's like some sort of interdimensional being or like some kind of like alien or anything like that, or like ghost or something. For me, I think it's just a big animal out there in the woods that we for whatever reason haven't found any like real solid proof on. Like something that always comes to my mind, especially when I think of like cryptids and stuff like that, is the idea of where they're like, oh, we know more about space than we do our own ocean, right? So I don't know, that's something that always kind of like comes up into my head whenever I think about just Bigfoot and cryptids, you know, where I'm like, hey man, there's possibility we don't know everything that's out there, right? Like even with like actual physical Earth, right, the land, even all of it's not explored yet, right? There's still some unexplored land. Like that's why we have like what are they called, like remote tribes and stuff like that, where it's like no one contacts them, no one goes to them, stuff like that. So I don't know, it's always been kind of interesting to me. But yeah, I mean, when you switch to like aliens, cryptids, honestly, like I said, I think Bigfoot exists. High possibility he does. When it comes to other cryptids, let's say the Jersey Devil, what's another one, Mothman, things like that. To me, it's like, I mean, they're fun to imagine they exist, right? But I don't believe they exist truly. And then, sorry if you guys hear that. Someone's right next to me on a motorcycle that's loud as hell, so I apologize for that. Kind of a little weird there, but yeah, I apologize for that. But when we switch our gears to like talking about like aliens and stuff, aliens is kind of a weird one for me. Like, I feel like there has to be aliens in the sense of there has to be some other form of life out there, right? I don't necessarily believe that they're aliens as in like the Hollywood depiction of aliens, right? Like little green or gray men with big old heads just running around, walking around, stuff like that, like just picking people up with their spaceships and UFOs. I don't believe that. I believe that there has to be other life forms in the world, even if it is just like bacteria, right, living on a planet. That would still technically count as like an alien. So to me, that's kind of like where I fall on it, where I think aliens exist, just not in like this over exaggerated, hyper dramatized kind of like Hollywood version of aliens, right? And I feel like a lot of people might feel that way. But then again, if you just ask someone if they believe in aliens, they're just gonna kind of think or automatically assume that you're talking about like the Hollywood version, right? So I always like to kind of distinguish, like, no, I think other life forms exist. It just might be like bacteria on another planet, you know? So, you know, let me know in the comments, guys, what your thoughts and feelings are on that. I would love to go ahead and get your perspective on what you think about it. I don't know, aliens. I remember one time I was watching this YouTube video, and it was talking about this, like, it was like a group of guys that had seen an alien while they were like out driving around in the woods, or they saw a UFO while they were out driving around in the woods. And it was kind of sad because they cut to like one of the guys is like an old man, and he's like talking about how like his whole life ever since that day he's been scared to even like look outside of his window because he's terrified that he's gonna see aliens or something in the sky. And I'm like, dude, that's honestly like heartbreaking, like having to hear this poor old man being too afraid to even step outside or even look outside just because something that he experienced when he was younger. And I'm like, man, that's tough right there. But I'm like, I don't know, man. For me, I'm like, I guess if I did see a UFO, that'd be pretty traumatizing, honestly. Like, part of me, kind of like I was saying, I want to go out and like go cryptid hunting, essentially, just in the woods, see what I can find. It's one of those things where I've always thought about, let me just like drive around at night, look up in the skies and just like see what I can see out there. And I'm like, it'd be pretty cool to see a UFO. But then also a part of me is like, dude, I'd be absolutely terrified if I did. I'd probably be like that guy, not wanting to like go outside at all. So yeah, I mean, if you guys do happen to have any experiences like in terms of like something that might be like a Bigfoot or alien, any kind of like cryptid or anything like that, go ahead and like leave a little story or something in the comments, or like hit me up on Instagram, let me know, just because it'd be super interesting to kind of hear about that. Another thing I always like to kind of ask people if they believe in ghosts or not. Me personally, yes, I do believe in ghosts. I do believe they exist. That's one of the things where it's like I have kind of I don't even know if you'd call it like a phobia, but I honestly do have a fear of like Ouija boards, right? I'm like, I am never going to go anywhere near one of those things, because I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to end up possessed. I'm not trying to have anyone in my household or anyone I'm with get possessed or anything like that. I'm like, Ouija boards, out of the question, man. They're too dangerous. Can't have them around. I'm like, that might be a little kid's toy, but I'm like, I'd rather not even play around with that kind of thing. So yeah, that's how hard I believe in ghosts and everything like that. Or I know a lot of the times I'll watch YouTube videos on like ghost encounters, I guess, ghost experiences, like ghost sightings and stuff like that, right? I watch YouTube videos on that, and I'm like, it kind of freaks me out a little. But then honestly, like most of the ones you see on YouTube and stuff seem pretty fake. So I'm like, it's mostly just for fun for the most part. But I'm like, I've always thought it'd be pretty cool too to go around to like abandoned buildings and stuff, or just like haunted places, see if I can find anything for myself. Because it's one of those things where I've always believed in ghosts, right? Like ever since I was younger. But it's one of those things where I'd really want to try to see if I can experience something like that, right? Experience some kind of like paranormal encounter or anything. I feel like that'd be really cool. So if you guys happen to have any stories, experiences with paranormal, cryptids, aliens, anything like that, go ahead and let me know. It'd just be a fun read for me. And then I can always talk about it in the next video too, if you guys happen to drop something. But yeah, other than like I was saying, ghosts, cryptids, aliens, stuff like that. Kind of what else did I want to talk about? I don't know. I mean, if you guys happen to be into baseball, if any of you are into baseball at all, I saw that Justin Verlander just a few days ago signed a 1-year deal with the San Francisco Giants. So it's gonna be interesting how that turns out. I believe he's like 42 years old, I want to say. So, you know, old man Verlander tossing the pill. We'll see how that goes in the end. As you guys can see, I have a LA Dodgers hat right here. Always been a big Los Angeles Dodgers fan ever since I was about like 14 years old. See, that's the one thing too, because like I know in yesterday's video, right, I said I've been a big fan of baseball since 2014. With the way like the year I was born, right, in 1999, it's kind of like I'm always with the year, right? So like right now it's 2025, 25 years old, but in the middle of the year I'm gonna turn 26. So you know what I mean? So it's like half the year I'm the exact age of the year, and then half I'm like above it. So it's always been pretty trippy to me. It kind of helps me out too if I ever, for whatever reason, forget what age I am. But yeah, like I was talking about baseball. One thing I was really sad about was when Walker Buehler went and signed with the Red Sox. I was really disappointed that the Dodgers didn't make more of an attempt to keep him. I know he's been dealing with a lot of injuries and everything like that, like for the last few years, Tommy John surgery and everything like that. And even when he did get back, he wasn't exactly like back to his ace caliber, right? But to me, I've always been a really big fan of his, especially when he first kind of like bursted onto the scene and everyone was kind of heralding him as like the successor to Clayton Kershaw, right? And that's when I really kind of like found my, I don't know if you'd even call it like fandom. That sounds like a little too extreme, but that's when I really kind of became a fan of his. And like I remember I have a I want to say it's a 2017 Player Weekend jersey. It's the one where the National League had like all white jerseys and the American League had all black jerseys. So I have his 2017 Player Weekend jersey where it's all white and has butane on it. So I've always been a real big fan of his. So it was pretty disappointing to see him go to Boston. But it's one of those things with like other guys that have left, like, right, like Cody Bellinger, Alex Verdugo, Kike Hernandez when he left, Corey Seager, right? When these guys leave, Jock Peterson, when these guys leave, it's like, I always still envision them, right, as a Dodger. So I was like, I'm always going to wish them the best of luck, you know what I mean? So I'm like another example, right? Gavin Lux just got traded to he was the second baseman for the Dodgers. He got traded to the Cincinnati Reds. And that one really sucked because I was a big fan of Gavin Lux. I don't know if you guys happen to remember, but a few years back, I believe it was like 2 or 3 years ago, the Dodgers had announced that he was going to be our starting shortstop. And I remember telling it, like, anyone who would listen to me, I'm like, watch, this is going to be his breakout year. He's going to be an all-star. And, you know, this is where he's going to kind of, like, really break out. And then, unfortunately, in spring training of that year, he ends up tearing something. I want to say, like, some kind of ACL, UCL, something like that. And he's out for the whole year, right? So he missed an entire year, finally comes back. By then, we already have, like, the shortstop position filled, right? And it's like, okay, so we kind of stuck him at second. And at the start of this year, right, the 2024 season, he wasn't really doing that great, but the second half, he, like, exploded. Like, he was doing really well the second half. I was excited for him. I was like, watch 2025, that's going to be his breakout year. And it's like, I don't know why I've always had really such high expectations of him. I know in the year 2019, I believe that's when he made his debut on the Major League roster. We were playing the Washington Nationals in the National League Division Series, and I remember seeing Gavin Lux come up, a rookie, right, a young guy. I remember seeing him come up and just smack a homer, like at the first at-bat he saw. And that's when I was kind of like, man, I was like, this kid's going to be something. He's going to be something big in this sport. Hasn't exactly panned out for him yet. I was hoping he'd be an all-star this year, kind of with how hot he got in the second half. But unfortunately, it just was not enough. It was not enough in the amount of time he'd need, right, to make the all-star team and everything. So that was kind of disappointing. But I don't know, for me, I'm like, I still believe in him, you know? I still think, like, watch, dude. I'm like, hey, we traded you to the Reds. That's not a bad thing. The Reds have a lot of young guys, right? A lot of young studs. They're going to do really great this season, hopefully be able to make the playoffs. And I'm like, hey, man, just go out there, show him the player you can be. You know what I mean? I'm like, I want him to come back, kind of have like a revenge tour of his own. You know what I mean? So wish nothing but the best for Gavin Lux. All the guys who come and go from our team, right? I always wish the best for them. When it comes to baseball, I mean, the Dodgers are kind of an embarrassment of riches, right? I guess you could say. Like, we have so much. Just won the World Series, have pitching, have hitting, have a bench, right? We have our payroll is, I'm pretty sure, the biggest payroll in baseball. So it's like, it's one of those things, and they have a lot of, like, deferred money. So, right, so they're not even really paying all that money. So, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like Dodgers are set up pretty good, but it should be a cool year of baseball coming up. I'm always really excited for the season to get started. I always try to watch every game. I always try to go to a game every year, too, like in person. Like, I know a few years ago, I believe it was like 2 years ago, I actually paid for tickets behind home plate. I took me and one of my friends. It was about $1,000 roughly for a ticket, or for each seat. But it was pretty cool, right? Getting to sit like 3 rows back from the field. It was definitely an experience, just because I have been a baseball fan for so long. Just being so close to the field like that was it was pretty crazy. I really enjoyed it. It's something I'd want to do more, but obviously, right, like $1,000 a ticket's kind of crazy. So it's one of those things where it's like, maybe in the future, when I have a little more in terms of finances and everything, it's something I'd be able to do a little more reliably, I guess, not having to like dig too deep into the pockets for it. But I mean, we'll see. This last year, I unfortunately didn't get to go to a game. My finances just didn't exactly line up for it, unfortunately. So, you know, I had to pass on this year. But it's one of those things where it's like, I didn't go this year, but hey, we won the World Series, so I kind of take that, right? I'm like, maybe my presence in the stadium that year gave us the magic we needed to finally win it. Because I don't know if you guys really follow baseball, or if you do, right? The story of like kind of the Los Angeles Dodgers, right? I believe we won, I want to say 11 out of 12 of the division titles. So we've won 11 years out of the last 12 years, the division. And the only year we didn't win the division, the Giants just went absolutely off. They won like 104, 106 games, something like that. And it was kind of like, I'm still baffled as how they did it. But, it's one of those things where it's like, out of all those years, like how many rings have we won, right? We won the 2020 season. I know a lot of people have different feelings on that because it was a shortened season, COVID season, everything like that. So depending on who you talk to, they'll say it's like a Mickey Mouse ring, stuff like that. But I always kind of saw it as a real one. It was the first one I ever watched. I remember watching it in 2020. I was working at a warehouse. I remember the game was on, and I probably shouldn't have done this, but I did it anyway, right? I took my break, and I was just sitting in the break room while the game was on, and I watched Julio get the final out of the 2020 World Series. So that was pretty amazing. But yeah, like those 11 years, right, of like dominance, I guess you could say. What do we have? We have the 2020 win, and then we just won in 2024. I mean, at that point, you kind of get into the scandal of 2017, right? If you guys happen to know about that, the Houston Astros were essentially cheating. They won the World Series that year. They were going against the Los Angeles Dodgers in 2017. And this is something I'll always tell anyone who will listen to me. The 2017 Los Angeles Dodgers were the best. I can't say the best baseball team I've ever seen, just because I'll keep it more to like the Dodgers side, right? The 2017 Dodgers were the best Los Angeles Dodgers team I had ever seen in my life. Out of all my years, I'd say the 2017 Dodgers were better than the 2024 Dodgers. And the reason why I say that is because I watched literally every game of the 2017 season. And with that team, it truly felt like the game was never over until that final out, right? Until the final out of the ninth inning, the game did not feel like it was over yet. So to me, it was just kind of like, I felt like that team had like some kind of magic around it, right? Some kind of like magical aura. And that's why, like, I'll say to this day, to anyone who will listen to me, the 2017 Dodgers, in my heart, are the best Dodger team I've ever seen in my life. And so I personally believe the Astros did cheat. They shouldn't have won the World Series. I don't believe that Jose Altuve should have won MVP, right? I believe that's what he won. And it's one of those things where it's like, I really wish the Dodgers could have that 2017 win back, right? Honestly, like, but then it's one of those things where it's like, you can't go back in time and change it, right? But what happened, unfortunately. So it's like, you just kind of deal with it. And I think that's really what Major League Baseball wanted to do. They just kind of wanted to get over it. They were like, yeah, just sweep this under the rug. It happened. Whatever it is, you know what I mean? But yeah, 2017 Dodgers, I believe, should have won the World Series. So, I mean, I guess in that case, I mean, if you think about it, in those 11 years of dominance, right, we should have three rings, but we have two. Hopefully the 2025 season's looking pretty wicked, so hopefully we'll be able to get another one right there. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm pretty blessed in the way of, like, ever since I got into baseball, right, like heavily 2014, the Dodgers have always been good. You know what I mean? Since 2014, like, they've always been a playoff team. Obviously there's been heartbreaks and stuff like that, but they've always been a really solid team ever since I really got into it. And it's one of those things that kind of scares me in a way, because I'm kind of like, man, I'm like, we can't stay white hot forever. You know what I mean? I'm like, one of these days, the empire is going to crumble, and that's where I'm kind of like, man, I'm like, I'm riding high right now. Everything's going good right now with the team. And I'm like, I mean, who knows, when I'm an older man, right? It just might be like, we're getting 100 lost seasons or something like that. But then I guess that kind of goes into, I mean, how one might think about it, right? One could be like, oh, well, the Dodgers just like have way too much money to kind of even let that happen, right? They're always going to be able to put at least like a competitive team on the field. But I don't know. It's something that's kind of always been in my head where I'm like, man, I wonder if I wonder if the empire is ever going to fall right there, and I'm just going to have to be sitting there watching my team suck. But I guess we'll have to cross that bridge when we get there, right? So yeah, like I was saying, I kind of wanted to start doing this more too, where I'm just kind of driving around talking to you guys. I know, especially when it comes to like baseball or things I truly love, right? I'm just going to be yapping for the most part. So I know if baseball isn't really your thing, you guys are just kind of hearing me ramble on a little bit, you know what I mean? I could always switch over to let's talk about like wrestling, right? I know WWE just had their kind of debut episode on Netflix. I've heard mixed reviews on it, but it's one of those things where it's like right now, especially when I kind of get into the like the dog days of wrestling, right? Because there's no off season. It's always going. So there are times where I kind of like take my foot off the pedal a little bit, not really watch it, like physically watch the program, but I'll go ahead and like follow it, right? Watch podcasts, see the news on what's happening, things like that. So like right now, I know, let me turn the light on for you guys real quick. There we go. So you guys can see my face a little better. I would show the hair, but the hairline's kind of rough, guys. I'll be honest with you. But yeah, it's my face a little bit, you know. If you guys were interested, I don't know if you guys are gonna be interested in that or not. But yeah, it's one of those things where, let me turn that back off. A bunch of cars driving around right now, and I feel kind of weird. But yeah, with the debut on Netflix, exciting, right? Because I don't have cable TV, so I'm like, with it coming to Netflix, I'm pretty happy about that. I'm always having to find some like other ways to like watch these programs, or for the most part, I'm having to wait for like the pay-per-views, right? And I'll just like binge the pay-per-views constantly because I'm like, I have no other like way of watching it for the most part. Because even when it comes to like illegal like streaming and stuff like that, I don't do that. I'm kind of like I said, I've told you guys in yesterday's video, I'm kind of like a caveman when it comes to stuff like that. So I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to get no viruses or anything on my phone. I'm not trying to get any kind of weirdness downloaded, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't even bother with that for the most part. Yeah, I'm sorry if the lighting kind of bothers you guys a little bit with how it is. I turned the light on, but like I said, it's kind of weird because then a bunch of cars started driving by, and then I don't want them to think I'm up to funny business or anything. Because like right now, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm not driving at the moment. I kind of parked at this one spot that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I parked at this one spot right here, kind of like in a little neighborhood. So especially, I don't want anyone to think I'm doing anything like dubious, you know. But I could probably show you guys a little bit like where I am. Pardon if you guys see how like my car is and stuff, but like watch, like if you see, yeah, you guys can see like how like where I am, really. I'm kind of just like in the middle of like a little residential area, I guess you could say. And I'll tell you something, like a fun fact, not really fun, I guess, depending on how you take it. This is actually the spot. Like, I don't know if you guys saw it. Let me show you one more time. Like, you can kind of see how it is right there, where I'm just parked on the side of like a street, you know. But this is actually the spot that I parked at when I went on my first date with that girl. I can't remember if it was on today's video or yesterday's video. I said that I took her on a date on December 4th, right? This is the spot that I came to after like the date was ending, before I was going to drop her off at home. I parked right here. And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't remember if I brought this up. I think I might have. But like right here is where I started kind of like crying and just like telling her like, I'm sorry, I know the date sucked. I really wanted to kind of impress you, you know what I mean? So like if you don't want to talk to me anymore, I totally understand. This is the spot right here where I was kind of like parked with her, crying and everything like that. And you know, where she kind of comforted me. She told me to stop overthinking. And eventually she gave me a kiss, and that's kind of how we ended the night right there. Kept on talking to her after that, and you guys already know the end of the story. So unfortunate way to end it. So it's kind of like that's why I said it's kind of a fun little fact, depending on how you take it. It's more of a bittersweet kind of spot for me, which is kind of why I came and parked right here, just because it really kind of brings a lot of emotions to me for the most part. some good, some bad, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's bittersweet, because I'm like, I come here and I remember the good times we had, but then I'm also just remembering how things ended and everything. And like I said, it just makes me sad. But I mean, hey, we'll get over it, you know. It's just only going to take a matter of time. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to come out and talk to you guys a little more, just because I know earlier, the clips I had earlier today weren't really that long. It was me more of like just going over the girl, I guess, you know. So I kind of wanted to come out, ramble a little bit. Like I said, if you guys happen to have anything you ever want to talk about, just go ahead and drop it in the comments. Or like I said, I'm going to leave my Instagram. Go ahead and add me or message me, whatever you want to do for the most part. These days I'm quite lonely, you know, which is why I said I wanted to kind of start making these YouTube videos, because I am so lonely, unfortunately. I don't really have anyone to talk to like that, or to really like confide in. So it's really kind of heartbreaking right there. But like I said, you're never really alone, especially if you do feel like you're alone. But hey, you're watching this video, you're not alone now. I'm here for you. I'm gonna keep making these videos. The video quality might suck, the audio quality might suck, or even just this content might suck. But like I said, this isn't, for me, this isn't about that. This is self-therapy. Me trying to get my feelings out, just have an outlet for all this kind of free time and these feelings I'm having, you know. And I want to be able to help you guys out too. If anyone's out there watching this video, I want to be able to help you not be lonely, you know what I mean? Like I said, that's one of my big goals with this channel, is I want to help people not feel lonely. I want to help you guys, because I know for me, myself personally, there's no one to help me. And I figure, you know, if no one's here to help me, I want to be here to help you guys. You know what I mean? I want to be here to help you guys. I want to be there, you know. I'm sorry I keep repeating stuff, but I want to be there for you guys, because no one's here for me, you know. And hopefully, like I said, I want to kind of build like a small little community here, where eventually we could all be here for each other, you know, like a support system in that kind of sense. And, you know, that's what I really hope to do. That's why I said, like, I'm not doing this. Obviously, I'm not doing this just judging based on the quality and kind of what I'm doing. I'm not doing this for money. I'm not doing this for fame. I'm not doing this to be able to brag to anybody. I'm doing this just because I want to help myself, but not only help myself, I want to help other people. Because I feel like I was put on this world to do something bigger. You know what I mean? I don't remember if I mentioned it, but I feel like I'm destined for more than just like a regular 9 to 5, right? I'm not meant to just work my life away. I'm not meant to work just like that regular 40 hours a week. 40 hours a week, just work, or live to work, essentially, is what I mean. I'm not meant for that. I know I'm not. There's just this certain feeling inside of me where I'm put on this earth to do something more, you know what I mean? And that's what I want to strive to do. That's why I want to help myself. I want to help you guys. I want to help anyone I possibly can. Even when I was saying, like, right yesterday, I want to be a professional voice actor. I want to be a actor. I want to be a professional wrestler, right? Even when I was younger, right, I want to be a professional baseball player. Unfortunately, I'm not good enough to do that. My skills aren't good enough, unfortunately. But I want something where I would be able to have like a platform, right? Kind of get a voice out for the people who don't have it. Like, let's say if I was an actor, right? I'm rich and famous. I'm going to use all my money I can to like help charities, kind of get the word out about certain stuff. And I just want to be there for people. Like, even if I was rich and famous already, right? I want to be here for everybody that I possibly can. I don't want anybody to feel like lonely or rejected, or like they're not wanted, because I know how that feels, right? I know how that feels. I've been feeling like that ever since I can remember. Ever since I was like, ever since I can remember, you know. I've always felt like I'm not really wanted. No one cares about me, right? Like, especially a few years ago, I went through a really rough point where I honestly I didn't care whether I was around, if you guys know what I mean. I don't know if YouTube would get upset with me if I said the word outright, but it was one of those things. I don't want anyone to ever feel like that, you know. Right now, I feel like heartbreak, right, because of what happened with that one girl. I don't want anyone to feel like that. I just want to be there for someone. I want to be able to help all the people I can. You know, I don't know, it probably sounds like cheesy or like I'm some kind of, like I'm lying or something like that. I don't know if grifter would be the right kind of word for it, but I just kind of want to start this small thing because I want to help people. I want to help people, but I also want to help myself, you know what I mean? So that's why I say it's, if you guys ever have anything, if anyone's watching this, if anyone has anything that they want to get off their chest, if anyone has anything, like if they do feel like they're not wanted, or they don't have any friends, or they're not accepted for who they are, things like that, you got me now. You got Joseph now. So just leave it something in the comments, right? Talking to me. Hit me up on Instagram. Anything like that, because I just want to be there for you guys. I want to be there for you guys as much as possible, because I feel like I was put here to do something big, and you know, this is me kind of my way inching closer to that goal, right? And it's one of those things where it's like, hey, maybe there's a world where this like does fairly well, like this whole kind of idea, right, of building this community. I'd be more than appreciative, right? And I'm going to keep going with it. I'm never going to stop. Like, it's one of those things, right, where I say, okay, the production quality might be low. The camera quality is not that good. The audio quality is not that good. But to me, that doesn't matter. To me, that is secondary to what the bigger picture I'm trying to complete here. And that's why I say I'll always be here for you guys. You know what I mean? If you feel like you're alone, you're not going to be alone now, because I'm going to be here. And you could always go ahead and talk to me if you need me. And I'll do that with a smile on my face. If there's even one person out there that I can help in even the smallest of way, right, then that'll make me so happy. So happy. Just because that's the mission I've set out to do. I want to help people. So like I said, if I can help anyone out there, don't be afraid to get in contact with me. Because I want to be someone who makes a difference in this world, you know? And I know one thing you guys might notice is I tend to apologize a lot. So I apologize if this video has been like long-winded, or if like this video has been me kind of just like retreading or reiterating a lot of things that I said before. But like I said, this is just a little thing I'm doing to kind of get stuff off my mind, stuff that I'm constantly thinking about, you know. Like one thing I kind of want to bring up is when it comes to that girl, right? I'll wake up in the morning, whether it be because I'm like moving around or I have to use the restroom, anything like that. I'll wake up in the morning and I won't be able to go back to sleep because I'm just thinking about her the whole time, you know what I mean? Just hoping and wishing that she would kind of come back to me. But I know that's very selfish of me not to think of that way. So I don't know, guys. It's one of those things where, like I said, and like I keep saying, it's gonna hurt for a good while, but time will eventually make the wound heal a little bit. Like I said, I'm never gonna stop thinking about her. She'll always be in my mind. It's just when I do think about her in the future, it's gonna hurt less. Because that's one thing too with how I am. Like I said in yesterday's video, I don't build connections with people like that. So when I do, they're really special to me. And anyone that I meet and I actually build a connection with like that, I'm never going to forget you. You know what I mean? Like, there have been people, like 2 other people, I'll never forget them. They'll always be in my heart, in my mind. Even if I go years without seeing them, I'm always going to be thinking about them. So I know I'll always be thinking about her as well, and I'll never forget her. Like I said in yesterday's video, I doubt there is a world in which she sees this, but if she does see this in any way, I just want her to know there's no hard feelings. I'll always be here for her if she ever needs anything. And, you know, I thank her for all the good times that she gave me. Like I said, that's one thing that, yes, of course, it sucks how it ended. And everything seems pretty bad because I'm so lonely now. And she just won't talk to me, won't anything, you know what I mean? But at least I have those good memories, right? I have those good memories, and those will never go away. Those will always be with me. And I feel like that's one of the things that'll kind of help me move on and heal as well. The fact that I'll always have those happy memories, right? Where eventually I'll kind of choose to prioritize the good memories over the bad. I know right now, obviously, I'm just kind of ruminating and stewing on the bad memories. But, you know, it'll blow by eventually, right? And then, like I said, I apologize too, because I'm constantly bringing her up. But like I said, she is really the catalyst for why I kind of started doing this. So, you know what I mean? I know for a while, I'm going to be mentioning her a lot. So, I just want to thank you guys. If anyone happens to watch this, anyone happens to watch my first videos, the first few clips that I did at day 1, if anyone ever watches this, I thank you very much for your support. If you like I said, like I keep saying, leave a comment, follow me on Instagram, like the video if you want, you know what I mean? I'm not one of those people where I'm going to be begging and pleading with you to like and subscribe. I don't like telling people what to do, so if you feel like it, I'd be more than appreciative if you guys did decide to like and subscribe, stuff like that. But obviously there's no need to, if you don't really want to. So yeah, if anyone sees this, I want you to know you're not alone now, because I'm here and I will be here. If you ever need anybody, just reach out to me, you know. I want to be able to help anyone. I want to be able to help everyone, you know. So this is going to be the last clip for January 10th, 2025. I know it's a little bit of a longer one right here, but I just had some stuff I kind of want to talk to you guys about, just drive around for a little bit out here. So yeah, last clip for the diary journal of January 10th, 2025. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the January 11th day. You know, we'll see what tomorrow holds us. Every day is a new day for something new to be going on. So I appreciate you guys. Stay cool, guys. Stay friendly. Treat everyone with respect. Treat everyone how you would want to be treated. That's a rule that I try to live my life by. If I remember, I'll probably talk a little more about that tomorrow. But yeah, guys, stay cool. Stay safe. And keep on rocking on, guys. Later. Peace.